Welcome to today's edition of AM Minnesota. Nort Johnson's with us from the Main Street program of the Faribault Chamber of Commerce. Great to be back, so to speak, in the saddle here.
Thanks for having me once again. This is always a good time.
A week of vacation, a little R&R. Actually, I helped my uncle at a yard sale. He was moving. He's 90 years old, and he's moving from his house in Royce City, Texas, to a senior assisted living type community.
Right on.
In Rockwall, Texas.
Those assisted livings, what a blessing. You know, that sort of the transitional housing, let's just say, from being independent to when we all that inevitable for everybody. But that it's so wonderful to have those kind of things available.
Yeah, he's 90. My aunt is 88. Physically, they're in terrific shape.
That's awesome. And now they get just a little bit of care that they need, or a little looking after, and they're around people their own vintage. So that's great.
Yeah, I think the socialization will help them a lot.
I bet. No lawn to mow. Or do they have a rock lawn probably in Texas?
Well, they had a pretty decent lawn. My uncle was very proud of his lawn.
Okay.
Sprinklers, kept the grass green.
Very good.
He said he's going to miss mowing. He likes mowing his yard.
Oh, I think we're getting our mowing in around here right now with the storms that we've gotten. The moisture's been really good. And it looks a little cloudy now. What's the...
They're talking some storms coming in.
Anything serious on the radar? Or
I guess we might get interrupted by a weather center person, but we want to be informed about that, so we'll let you know. You're wearing a Car Cruise Nights shirt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've the downtown car cruises in Faribault. We did a little extra effort on branding them this year, just understanding that there's a lot of folks out there that are proud of their vintage automobiles and their fixed up hot rods. And so we just wanted to put a little extra touch on it, and that's paid off. We actually have t-shirts available. We've got these groovy shirts that volunteers are using. Volunteer run event. It's pretty neat. So
it looks like a mechanic shirt.
It's that was the idea. It's got the pockets in the sleeve for a pen and a wrench and a tire pressure checker.
Oh,
you bet.
Yep.
You bet.
Kind of reminds me of the old mechanics shirts that you'd see.
People like those. They're in line with the whole car cruise thing.
Which, as irony would have it, that was what my uncle's profession was. He did that and farmed on the side in Iowa before he retired to Texas.
Oh man, he's a working fella, mechanic and a farmer.
Yeah, which is why he liked mowing his yard, even at 90.
Wow, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. Hey, car cruises this week. Since we did hit on that downtown. It looks like the weather's going to hold, so I'm expecting we're going to fill up at least a couple of blocks with cars. And we've got a guest car down from the University of Minnesota, one of their program cars. Come down for that this month, and then next month we've got the solar vehicle from the university coming down. So, and there's always, Kelsey will have her cotton candy maker out there, I have a feeling, again. And Signatures is going to be grilling outside. Jerry from out at Basher's will have his wagon downtown too, serving. So, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I've been told the addition of the food has really been a great attraction.
It really is, and we made an all-out effort this year to make sure we were able to do that, specifically based on a survey we did last year. Our friend Lisa Everett, was that the call?
I don't know. I'll find out here while you talk.
All right. Well, I'll talk. Gordy's going to get the phone. So we did a survey last year among the folks that were attending, and
right away here during AM Minnesota. Nort Johnson's with us from the Main Street program of the Faribault Chamber of Commerce. I was informed today that Bruce Smith's sister is in town today to look at the Bruce Smith mural downtown.
That's correct. That's correct.
So we're looking forward to popping on over, maybe getting a chance to visit with her a little bit.
I think I'm gonna stop over and say hello as well. It would be kind of fun to meet her. I have not met her in the past. So, and what an honor for Faribault. Really, the only Minnesota Heisman Trophy winner in our history. Of course, Bruce Smith Field, named after him. And do they still do the Bruce Smith Award, or did they change that to Male Athlete of the Year?
Well, they still have a Bruce Smith Award.
Still Bruce Smith Award. That's awesome. That's awesome. My brother won that.
How cool is that?
1969. My brother Michael won that award. So, and then I remember in my class a little bit later on than that, a lot later on than that, a fellow named Bruce Gutzman picked that one up. So, oh, Bruce Smith, yeah, what a legend, and source of pride for sure. Got a nice display down at Sue Garwood's museum down there by the fairgrounds as well, a Bruce Smith display. You seen that?
Oh yeah, Rice County Historical Society Museum. Speaking of that, Rice County Fairs next week. They do have passports to fun passes still available in High B. Those who like to ride the rides.
Great, good. Yeah, the fair. What an asset for town as well. You know, they're having a battle of the bands on the opening night, on Wednesday night. You know, they had a few signed up last I heard.
Yeah, opening's Tuesday night.
Opening's Tuesday night, okay. So Wednesday's the Battle of the Bands at the Grandstand. So did you know what one of the prizes for the winner of the Battle of the Bands contest is? You're looking at me like you don't know. They get to play at the Blue Collar Barbecue pre-party.
Oh, cool.
On Friday night before the Blue Collar Barbecue this year.
That'd be fun.
We're going to have that downtown. Look for more information on that. We're buttoning up the exact location. FTown's helping with that, and we're looking for a few others. But that's going to be fun. That's a Main Street and our partners event. So what a blessing to be able to combine that with the Rice County Fairs event. So we're looking forward to that.
That's done very well since it started.
For
the
sure.
Blue Collar event.
Absolutely. And you know, I'm on the Paradise Center for the Arts board of directors, and this being in town a short period of time yet, just over almost a year and a half now. I've involved a little bit with the Blue Collar. I don't do any of the lifting. I'm not taking any credit for all that good work that's been done, but I have been able to be at a few of the meetings, and you know, they've got that down pretty well. They really do. That volunteer group doing that, and the thoughts at the table have been, well, should we try to expand it? Should we try to do a little more? What's too much? You know, you try to do too much and then it's not as good. And so this little reach out this year to add the Friday night event is just sort of, let's see how that feels for people. So it's the Blue Collar Barbecue pre-party, and we're going to have a lighting of the grill ceremony. So that should be kind of fun. Looking forward to that.
What are the dates?
That's the, well, look for sure. I think it's the 12th and 13th, Gordy. I'm going to pull up my handy handheld device here, which, by the way, if you go to visit faribault.com, you'll be able to pull up the events calendar right on your handheld device as well. So, yes, July, August 13th is the Blue Collar, and the 12th will be the pre-party in the evening. Look for more information, or go on the Faribault Mainstreet site or visit Faribault for updates.
You've already put in the perfect weather.
I've already put in the request for the weather. Hopefully I've behaved, and that my request will be granted. But it sounds like it's going to be clear for the fair next week. Maybe just a little warm, but that's okay.
That's typical.
Grab yourself a freezy and some cheese curds, and you'll have it made.
A couple of years ago, I remember they were wearing jackets when we were visiting with the Fair Queens.
Oh wow!
A couple of years ago.
Okay. Yikes! I like the warm weather better.
Do you?
I just think of January, and then I don't mind sweating a little bit, to be sure.
Well, there you go. There's a reason why we live here, isn't there?
There is. The seasons are one of them. I mean, and Faribault, obviously, kind of middle of the seasonal area. We get all 4 seasons.
All-Star game was in San Diego last night. Wouldn't it be boring to have perfect weather every day?
Oh, I think that would get old. I really do. I guess you'd find other things to have your interest in other than the weather patterns. But and that All-Star game, I watched a little bit of it. Did a little work last night and caught the very end of the All-Star game. But I didn't see the final. What was it?
4-2.
It ended up 4-2. All right.
American League won.
Very good.
Nunez did not get in from the Twins.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. The Twins building year, right?
Because after the game, Pete Rose said Ned Yost managed to win that game, and Mr. Collins managed to make everybody happy. That was Pete Rose's take.
Oh, that was his take on it. Okay. I don't think it made everyone happy then.
Well, it's an exhibition game. Come on.
I guess. I agree. So baseball games this weekend.
A couple of them out at Bell Field to salute Honor our Veterans Day, salute our veterans.
Outstanding.
The Flames have done this, I think, ever since they started. And now the Lakers jumping on board this Sunday for a double header. It'll be Lakers followed by Flames.
That's just super. That's just super. So what time do those start, Gordy?
2 o'clock first pitch for the Lakers, 5:30 first pitch for the Flames. We'll have both those games on Power 96 radio too. Yours truly will have the call.
On the FM, that sounds fun. I'll have that. I'm going to get down at least for part of a game, and then I've got a little bit of a home project I'm probably going to have to work on.
We always enjoy the salute to our veterans. We should all remember our veterans.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, just thinking briefly, you mentioned Texas before. We're talking about people of service. I'm thinking about that horrible incident just last week. But and that brings me to a meeting this morning that I was at for Faribault Mainstreet, and there was some conversation that included an advertisement that went in the paper last weekend that the police department, sheriff's department had put in, and my understanding.
So this was after the Dallas shooting?
Yes, yes. I mean, what a horrible thing.
That was downtown 2 days after that, and they still had half the downtown pretty much. Well, not half, but a good portion of the downtown Dallas area was blocked off because it's a crime scene.
That's just, I mean, what a tragedy. Well, some of the comments after the advertisement, as a result of it, that I understand, you know, there's a little bit of an outpouring, a well-deserved outpouring for our sheriff's and police department personnel over that, including maybe care packages showing up at the office with treats, and you know, as it was said this morning, we haven't got that kind of stuff here in Faribault. We don't. That type of you know, terrible tension and those terrible tragedies that take place, and I'm pretty thankful for that.
Not too far away though, up in the cities they're dealing with it. They had a block off of 35W this morning for the protest. I-35W and University Avenue in Minneapolis was blocked off this morning for a period of time.
Yeah, I'm glad that that's not something we're dealing with here, and we shouldn't have to. This town, pretty good town, pretty good place to be, and you know, that just you know, some of the conversation when I first came to town was there was a little bit of a reputation downtown. There was a little bit of a, you know, gosh, we're not sure about that. Now, there were some city efforts that took place to help make sure housing's cleaned up, and we're not a magnet, let's say, for maybe some of those folks who would use that type of a downtown atmosphere for criminal activities or.
Yeah, you don't have slums and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and we don't have that. Our downtown does not have that element. It's an incredibly safe place to be, and very fun. Was down again last weekend. I missed did you happen to get to the anniversary party down at FTown?
When was this?
That was last Saturday night. I understand it was well attended.
I was in Dallas.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I was down Friday night downtown and did a little stop at FTown for a period of time. Met with some folks. Nice little asset we have there, along with all the other stops downtown. And again, I want to reiterate, our downtown, you can walk around anytime. It's safe. Good place to be.
So there's something going on between Cruise Night, which is this Friday, and the Blue Star.
The blue collar.
I mean the blue collar. We already talked about.
Yeah, that's.
Where'd I call it? Blue Star.
The Blue Star, the Lone Star, and the blue collar, I guess. Well, we've got Crazy Days.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
The fair is next week.
Fair's next week,
which
and
is
then
crazy, but it's not Crazy Days.
Right. Crazy Days is right after the week after the fair. We're actually having it. It's a 2-week event. We're going to have the Crazy Days, and it's Let's Go Crazy Days. A little bit of a purple theme, tying that purple into the Relay for Life event, which is the following week. And there's going to be a purple themed window decorating contest, and that's open to anybody, not just downtown. So and we'll give a prize for the best purple themed window decorating that goes on, and that'll kick off for the first weekend. Again, the weekend after the fair, and then the following week, the 5th and 6th, it's several of our merchants are going to have back to school sales. So the purple excuse me, the purple encore will be the next weekend with some back to school specials. But on the Friday night, the 20, I should keep my calendar open, Gordy. Is that the 26th? It must be. July 29th, I'm sorry. July 29th is the Friday night. The Purple Pub Crawl. That's another event that we started last year, was the Crazy Days Pub Crawl during Crazy Days. Very well attended, lots of fun. We had sponsors for rides home. If we're encouraging people to come down and have fun on a pub crawl, we want to make sure that those that may need to have an alternative method home than how they got there, that they have that available. I think we get 39 rides home last year. Tony Langerud sponsored the rides home for everybody last year. That was awesome. So we'll seek a sponsor this year again and do that as well. But there'll be pub games, different games around. I don't know if we'll get frozen turkey bowling back again this year, but there'll be games like that. Yeah, it's lots of fun. Lots of fun.
And this year, the stroll, we should top the $2 million mark of money raised
That's outstanding.
since the stroll started.
That's outstanding.
Unless we have a real fall down kind of year, should cross the 2 million mark.
It's super. Well, we'll do our best to help promote that. There'll be a volunteer group from.
Driving down the freeway, and all of a sudden everybody's brake lights are coming out in front of me, and I'm going, what's going on here? And then I look off to my right and I see this cloud of dust blowing across the freeway, and now I know why. And then there's all kinds of debris in the air. There's a big storm.
Oh, wow.
And I was in a rent-a-car, and I was praying and crossing my fingers and my toes, mind you, that we not, that my car, the rental car doesn't get hit by some of this debris.
Wow. Did you take out the extra insurance?
Oh yeah, I
There
took out
you
the
were
extra
fine.
insurance.
You were fine, but we want you to be safe, of course.
I mean, we're talking trash can lids in the air, right on the freeway.
Wow, wow. We had a mini tornado here at F1, Kansas City last week as well. Remember that? You were not here.
No.
Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I think it had about 1.5 miles on the ground, give or take.
Kansas City.
Kansas City, F1 tornado last week. Went for a little drive out there, saw a little bit of the damage the day after, but yeah, nothing to mess with, but nothing we can help either.
No. So we were talking about Crazy Days. What are the dates of that again?
Crazy Days, the 29th and 30th of July, again the week after the fair. And then the following week is the Crazy Days Encore sale, and there'll be several retailers participating in that as well. And the 29th is the Crazy Days, Crazy Nights Purple Pub Crawl.
So how is this marketing, this joint marketing with Northfield and Owatonna going?
It's going really well, and we're getting a lot of super positive feedback from that. I think last time I was here, I shared that the crew had gone to Duluth to talk to bus tour operators, and we've gotten contacts back from Duluth, not from Duluth, but from operators from around the country saying, hey, we did get your information up there, please let's spend a little time talking during the next year. So that was good effort, and a great response to the mini road trip is what we branded our 3-town effort. So very nice. I'm actually headed to Lake City later today, and then tomorrow at our Southern Minnesota Tourism Association conference, Cynthia Messner, who runs the tourism program at the University of Minnesota Extension Service, is going to be the speaker at lunch tomorrow, talking about regional tourism efforts. So I'm kind of interested to see what else is going on around the state. It's a good thing to partner with those close by and package your goods together, because it becomes, as I like to describe it, a full glass. Everybody likes to look at a full glass. You see a third full glass, and it's not quite as appealing. Fill it up, people are interested.
I did some tourist type of events when I was in Texas. Went to the Texas Book Depository, which is now the JFK Museum.
Right.
It was very fascinating.
Yeah, what a deal.
I mean, it's a grim time in our history, I understand that. But to actually be there, physically be there,
Yes,
was
sir.
interesting.
The November 22nd, 1963.
That's the date.
The day I was brought home from the hospital from my birth.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Wow. That's the day you were brought home.
That's the day I was brought home. I was born a couple days before that. So, yeah. So, oh, we're beeping again. Is that we're live online again now?
That's another one of those
The National Weather Service
messages.